Hi guys, I'm Larry. I'm a game design director in the video game development industry, and today's episode is going to be just about going to college or not going to college, and will that help or hinder you from being successful in the industry? All right, Rasser, help me tell these guys how to do it. Help me tell the secrets, buddy. Okay. I don't have my fancy computer this week. I'm actually traveling, so I'm going to pretend I do and do fun stuff on my own. Rasser's not a fan of the fan. One of the things that you have to look forward to in going to college to learn game design or game development is the fact that you have a structured learning curriculum that has been approved and hopefully looked over by a board who I would say have earned their certifications in what they teach and roughly understand what it's going to take to become a video game designer or a video game developer in the industry. Hopefully the school is accredited. With that out of the way, that's just one of the major benefits that I think of, is the fact that you can go knowing nothing and already have a ramping education plan from your initial classes, in your early fundamentals of development. Maybe you get a little more, maybe you start working on something a little more difficult or intermediate as you get to your advanced courses where you start doing team projects, you start preparing for a graduation, putting together your portfolio. One of the major benefits that I got out of a college education was a structured learning plan from start to finish, all the way up the mountain, already planned out and provided for me. But you can expect to pay a whole lot of money. Also, with that provided education, you get access to hopefully great computers, software, libraries, professors off hours, lots of different resources and ways for you to develop your education and your skills, but it does come at an incredible cost. You can pay anywhere between $100,000 to $160,000 if you're going to a 3-year, 4-year degree school, possibly more. If you're going to a specialized program, maybe like Gnomon School or something like this, you may not actually end up spending the same amount of time or the same amount of money, but I do still consider that a structured, college level learning environment. The next benefit that you get there is also you will be potentially working with a lot of peers who themselves will go on to become something in the game development industry. And that is one of the best networking opportunities. Even at this stage in my career, I still have friends that I reach out to asking about potential jobs for them or asking if they've worked with somebody I'm considering hiring. The networking that I did in college to this day, is still something that's very important to me into my career and has actually helped me a lot. A few of my jobs that I've gotten have come by recommendation of interviewing a friend of mine who say, hey, I know a guy, you should talk to Larry. And vice versa. I've hired a couple of my friends where I'm like, hey, I know a guy, you should talk to this person. So that's another benefit that I got from going to college. I worked with a lot of peers. I knew who was good. We spent 3 years together. The less hardworking students had weeded themselves out of the program. And by the time that I graduated, those maybe 20 people who I remember were solid across all our disciplines are people I still talk to. We keep in touch on Facebook and we stay networked together. And there's been a lot of professional back and forth between this group of people. And had I not gone to the school, I would not have met these individuals. I would have not have been in some of the weddings that I was in, and some of the people who are going to be in my wedding might not have been there had I not gone to school. Another major benefit that I would say you get with going to college is just being somewhere in the environment, away from home. When you go to school, you feel like you're in business mode. You're in the room with other students. Everybody's trying to learn. It's somewhat competitive in the sense, but you get this way to kind of be in this bubble that feels a lot like a job in a sense. You're going to the place to do the work. You have someone overlooking the quality of the work that you're producing and even grading you on it. Your success in this place depends on your quality of work. And in some tangential ways, that does kind of help you prepare for a school environment, a work environment. Especially if you go to a school that makes you do a team project. I actually hope that you do a team project where one of the students doesn't pull their weight and the other people in the group have to struggle to still get the passing grade for the entire group. Because that will teach you a lot about yourself. It'll teach you a lot about working on a team. It'll prepare you for getting into the industry and being able to handle the problems that just kind of pop up. Because even professionals, we're still human. We still make mistakes. We still overscope or underscope. It happens all the time, and you got to be prepared. So I think that one of the things that I was excited about, I shouldn't say that, one of the things that really helped mold me to where I am today was just those team projects that I got to do while I was in college. Next major resource that I loved from college and just being in the college system, because I used to teach college level video game development as well, which is just knowing that these schools have budgets for bringing in professionals or doing career days or doing seminars or sending you to GDC and things like that. The schools actually, some schools have budgets for putting on these events that bring professional people to the campus or that just help the students even get that much more of a leg up. And that's something that you cannot underestimate or can't undervalue. My very first GDC, I got to go for free. And to this day, I'm still very thankful. That wouldn't have happened. I don't think I was going to go to GDC if I tried to do my entire education from my bedroom back on the East Coast. So again, schools will pay, they will put on programs, they bring in pros, they will do everything that they can to put you in a successful environment. Hopefully, you gotta leave a little bit of room for the shadiness that happens in college. And yes, I can't sit up here and just talk about the good. There is some bad. Obviously, if you go to school, like I will say mine ended up closing down because it was part of I went to the Art Institute of Orange County, California, who kind of got sued for predatory loan practices. I'll just leave it at that. Please go do your research. If you really care, just know this. It's for-profit education. And a lot of times when things happen for profit, it may not be in complete best interest of the person paying the money. Sometimes they may try to do unethical business things because they are trying to increase the profit. And I think AI learned a lesson. I don't want to go into alleged this, alleged that on this video. That's not what I'm here for. But I do want to warn you that, just make sure you're comfortable with what you're getting out of your educational program. So my final thought on going to college is this. They will give you an opportunity. They will give you an environment, and you can either go there and learn and do well and try and apply yourself, or you can go there and waste your time and then complain in the forums or complain out in the world that, the school didn't prepare you. I'll just be honest. I saw a lot of people who went to the same school as me, the same amount of time as me, who have amazing portfolios, who are kicking ass in the video game development industry, who are going to be titans in this industry by the time they were all said and done. And at that same school, during the same amount of time, I saw many people who were complaining that they had no opportunities, that they weren't being helped, that their work didn't improve, that they were not set up successfully. And they actually do blame the school for their shortcomings. And I'm not going to say who wins, who loses. I will simply say if you go into an educational system with the understanding that you are 90% of the value, you doing the work, you taking the lessons and actually learning them, you trying to implement the skills that you've been taught, you trying to get better as an artist, as a creative, is 90% of where the success comes from school. All that they can do is put the opportunity to learn in front of you. You have to do the work. So if you feel like you're that type of person who could use those benefits, who could take advantage of those things, and also, I hate to say it, unless you have scholarship opportunities, if you have the money to pay for it, 100%, I think you would be successful in college. And I would implore you to go at least investigate. Find 2 or 3 schools that you might be interested in, tour 1 or 2 of them, make a commitment and go. I am a product of the college environment for learning game for learning game development. And at least it worked for me, and I can stand by that. It worked for my friends who are still kicking ass. I can stand by that. It didn't work for the people who I feel like didn't apply themselves all the way. And I'm gonna stand by that. But Larry, not everybody can afford college. Can they still be successful in the game industry? Of course, but I feel like some of the same things apply. Let me talk you through some of the benefits of doing it yourself, maybe putting together curriculum from your own bedroom to learn game development. First, you actually don't need a college degree to get a job in the video game development industry. Colleges might hate that I'm saying this, and I've even taught it some, but I'm just gonna be honest, we're still very portfolio driven. If you got the skills, if you can show that you can do the work, and I don't mean you just think you can do it, but like if you could literally hold your work next to professional work and somebody might actually take some time figuring out which was which, you got a great shot. We still hire people who don't have college experience, but who do have great portfolios. And, they seem like they have some tenacity. Look that up if you don't know what it means. But basically, if it looks like they're ready to learn, they're eager, they're going to overcome, scenarios that might hinder or hold back other people, and they're just ready to continually apply themselves and stay malleable. You can look that up if you don't know it. But basically, we want somebody who's ready to rock. And if we believe that they're going to be worth the fertilizer and the soil that we are going to put into growing their career, we will definitely take a shot on somebody. I mean, that's the God's honest truth. Just because you went to college, it doesn't mean that you have a leg up. And if you don't go to college, it doesn't mean that you'll be held back. So next, you will save a lot of money if you don't go to college. I would imagine, I think there was a funny way to put this. I remember somebody talking about film school, And, you know, film school might kind of be in the same boat as should I go to game school or not. But I remember hearing, hey, if you're thinking about going to film school, take the $150,000 and just go make films. Part of me understands why someone would say that. Again, I feel like me offering the advice is specific to the type of learner or the doer you are, how much kind of go-getter attitude you have, how autonomous you can kind of be. And if you need a structured environment, then probably don't do it on your own. But if you feel like you could actually like sit down at your computer and put together your own course curriculum, really target where you want to go in the game industry and just focus all of your time intensely on doing that, you can still be incredibly successful, probably faster and for less money than the people I go to college. Because here is one of the biggest benefits, and I'm going to speak from my own personal experience. If I look back now and say, I'm Larry and I just want to be a game designer and I'm only going to focus all my time and effort on learning game development, game engines, game design, level design, systems, mechanics, and everything related to the career path that I knew that I wanted to go down, I could probably get the same level of education that was provided in college in a third of the time for maybe 80% less money. Now, I'm losing out on a lot of things, like I'm not going to have the opportunities to meet the same friends, not necessarily the group projects. I don't have professionals coming to my bedroom door to try to talk, like, okay, my God. I don't have professionals coming to my house to do career day or things like that. I don't have opportunities to go to GDC for free. A lot of those other benefits that I got from being in the school network, I don't see that happening for you if you just wanted to stay home. But I'm just being real with you. You don't need to go to college to learn game development. It helps. It really does help if you're that type of person who can, one, pay for it, and two, utilize the opportunity well. If you are not fortunate enough, it's okay. You can still learn from home. It's 2022. Information is everywhere. Unreal makes some of the best tutorials on game development that you can find for their platform. Unity, tons and tons and tons of content from Unity themselves, from other makers online who are just showing you how to do really cool stuff in that engine. If you want to learn animation, I mean, you can go to, this is not a commercial, you can go to Skillshare, you can go to Udemy, you can go to, Animation Mentor, you can go to ianimate.com, like all these places can teach you animation. If you want to learn programming, you probably want to go to school and get a CS degree, but I don't know enough about programming to help push there, but I would imagine there's still supplemental alternatives that exist online that can at least get you to foot in the door level. If you have the ability to sit down, to plot out what you think you need, and to systemically go through and try to tackle good content in all those areas, I believe you can grow and be just as successful. If you were to look 20 years down the career path of guy who went to college, person who went to college, and person who did not go to school, and if you were to run that simulation 100 times, whatever the max level of success that you see in one, you would also see it in the other. Now, granted, depending on how you start, depending on, jobs you take, jobs you don't take, how you interview, or personal things that I can't control through this video tutorial, I can at least say no person who did or didn't go to school is going to be shut out from any of the creative opportunities that are out there in the game industry. So I want to say from the bottom of my heart, I hope if you do want to become a game designer, if you do want to become a game developer, forget what kind of situation you're in, just commit to that goal, because there's a path. There's a path through school, there's a path without school. There's people like me who love to give back and help, and if you maybe find a cool way to reach out and get in touch with one of these people, they might help you. They might help you save a step or save some time. One of the things you could do is subscribe to this YouTube channel, because I'm dedicated to making content helping people become better game designers specifically, but there might be some residual information that just helps you become a better game developer in general. Either way, I want to help the community and I want to help the industry that gave so much to me. So all I can say is, if this content benefits you, please subscribe. There's going to be more every Monday morning. If not, maybe find somebody that could benefit from it and share with them. That's all I ask. Hey guys, one more thing for you. If you check the description of this video, you will find a link to a guide that I wrote. It's just full of resources online that are completely free that will help people who are interested in becoming better game developers who don't plan on going to college. It's a list of books, it's a list of online courses and online programs that are readily available that will help you today. It's 100% free. There's no extra ads or spyware or anything else added to it. It's just free info. So check it in the description. Hope it helps. Yeah, Raz is down here getting ready for his nap, so I think I'm gonna use this as an opportunity to go play some games, and I hope to see you in the next video.